Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Tonight I wanted to talk about Cynthia Bailey and her comments about Kenya Moore. And basically, she met with the Bravo Shave Room, and she basically said that she hasn't spoken to Kenya since her event at the salon opening. And she wished that Kenya would have talked to her first before she had this grand idea on how to respond to Britt, aka Beulah. That's what I call her, Beulah. Now now this is me talking. Not that Beulah didn't have it coming, because she did. We've seen her and watched her move throughout these first 4 episodes, and it's a lot. Okay. Clearly she's obsessed with Kenya. But I am really disappointed in Kenya. However, I am not shocked either at the same time, right? Because we all know that Kenya can be a mean girl. Kenya can do the most and take it to hell, as she did this time. And unfortunately, this did not work out well for her. Um, I know that she said that she was being threatened with a pow pow, and we did hear the language in the other episode about her. She has got pow pows and whips, right? But that's all she said. She didn't say, I'm going to go get my pow pow and whip. She didn't say, I'm going to use them on you. She just insinuated that that's what she has, and that somebody was going to learn today. So I don't know. It was borderline a threat, but I don't know if it was a true threat. I don't know what they took into consideration from Beulah was a real threat. I mean, her thing when she said somebody was going to learn today, did she actually say Kenya's name? I think she said somebody's going to learn today. I didn't think she said Kenya would learn today. So clearly she could have been talking to anybody. I mean, it wasn't really verbatim. Like, she didn't say Kenya's going to learn today because I'm going to go get my pow pow and my whip. I don't think she said that. She just said, I still have my pow pow and whip. She don't know who she dealing with. But you know what? She'll learn it. Did she say she'll learn it? I don't know. I don't know how she said it or how she phrased it. But for some reason, production didn't feel like it was a threat, and they let Kenya go. Only because probably. But my whole thing is, even if she did bring that to the grand opening, right, or her grand opening, and she had poster boards of different things, they could have blurred it out. They could have blurred that out. They didn't have to show it. You know what I'm saying? Or they could have bleeped her. But she wasn't, threatening any physical harm. Only she did was ultimately embarrass her in front of whoever came to the opening. But let's read some of these comments on the Shade Room. Cynthia goes wherever the wind blows, so they're not really okay. At some point, you outgrow the BS, and Sin has simply outgrown Kenya Moore's antics. Kenya was wrong. She didn't have the right to expose that girl. She had said and done worse to people. If I was Kenya, I would never take her call ever again. The nerve of Cynthia to say she's waiting on Kenya's phone call is very condescending. Kick rocks, Cynthia. Wow. She's happy Phaedra's back after what she did to Candy? Hmm. Kenya came with the receipts at her spa opening because it would bring more views to the specific episode, therefore, more eyes on her salon. In her mind, it was too out who Britt is, a pew pew threatening woman with a salacious past. This is how the show works. It was not the right move, but I can see where the lens of the show it made sense. Hmm. Kenya knows Cynthia is a turncoat. Miss Feather flies along with whatever. Guess the weapon threat's not important, huh? Okay. Cynthia is continuously on the lookout for any moment where Kenya may stumble or be come unpopular, she was taken aback by the positive reception Kenya received during the Ultimate Girls Trip, which probably which probably which promptly soared her mood towards Kenya. Cynthia consistently finds fault with Kenya, although Kenya does receive a considerable amount of support from both her fans and distractors. Truly, Cynthia has never truly been a friend to Kenya. I don't think that's all that true, but okay. Kenya had it coming. This was karma for her, the way she's treated current cast members, so I don't feel sorry for her. I don't think I would have did it at my grand reopening. You know what I mean? And maybe I would have talked it over with someone else in the cast. Like, okay, well, this is what I plan on doing. I'm going to out her. Um, but it wasn't really outing her because whoever it was got the photos from the internet. So whatever she was doing is on the internet. So I don't know why they got rid of Kenya. Kenya's just mean. That's why I said it's got to be production that was after Kenya that wanted her moved. It's got to be. She must have ruffled somebody's feathers on production really, really bad. They said, "Child, Nene told us Cynthia has always been a fair weather friend to Kenya. She used to take enjoyment in Kenya and Nene's fight over her friendship." But you know what? Nene used to said also that Kenya was going to be the downfall of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, she had help. It wasn't just her. Why is Cynthia so vocal about Kenya's actions but was silent at when her friend was threatened and Britt lied about it? But you know what? Cynthia wasn't at the dinner. Matter of fact, she was the only one that wasn't at the dinner. So she probably was listening to production. You know, production be in their ears. Portia, Shamia, Drew, Candy, and Eva all spoke the truth while 50 Cent remained silent. She wanted Kenya to beef with the women on the RHUG, I guess the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, over a game, but hanging with the women that threatened her friend. That's Cynthia for you. Nene tried to tell y'all she's quick to address Kenya's reactions, but stayed mute on the Brit behavior. Cynthia's boring as hell. Who cares? She's never a real one. Rides the fence. Why y'all dragging Cynthia? I don't see nothing that she said was wrong. She did that. The way that Kenya responded to Beulah was beneath her. She was so worried about her salon getting the notoriety. I mean, the salon looked beautiful. When she was giving Kelly the grand tour, it was gorgeous. People were saying, some of the equipment that she had in there, to massage your scalp, the water thing or whatever. People probably would have been
I
lining
don't
up
know.
to
And then
get in
she
there. Turned around and said she used Brooklyn's college fund. Really? Damn. I don't know. What y'all think about that? I don't know. I don't see anything wrong. Somebody said, "Thank you, Cynthia. A real friend would hold you accountable and tell you when you're wilding." Being a veteran housewife and the current longest running housewife of the franchise, it was beneath Kenya, especially at the launch of the salon that you put blood, sweat, and tears and money in. It didn't make sense. Like, you don't poop where you eat. Someone else said, "Cynthia is such a flip flopper. She wasn't there when Kenya's life was threatened, and she still, till this day, praises Britt as a newbie." Oh, Lord. And somebody else says, "Yes, hold your friend accountable, but you still hang with Britt after you knew she threatened Kenya with a pew pew is a hard no. Cynthia got to learn to pick a side." Looking at last week's episode and the close proximity of Britt to the other castmates, and they should have all been on an HR call with Kenya Moore to back her up after hearing pistols mentioned. Production and the cast failed her. Someone says, "I feel the same way. Like Tamron says, Kenya may have been trying to produce a Kenya moment, but it overshadowed the real objective, and that was the celebration of her own hair spa. It was simply the wrong setting, and producers should have stopped her." Someone says Nene has told us in the past that Cynthia is a snake, so this is not surprising at all. She'll do anything for a check since she doesn't have Mike anymore. She has never been a true friend to any of the women on the show. Can somebody tell me what's wrong with Cynthia's wigs, though? Because unless she must have fired or maybe can't afford her stylist anymore, because I haven't been liking her clothing. Her clothing has been too tight. I know she's gained weight, but her wigs have been terrible. And Cynthia could always pull a look with her hair. The little bit of hair that she had. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who her stylist was, but they must be angry with her or not around anymore because her wigs are horrible. For the last 4 episodes that she's been on, I don't know if she said she's been on all of them. Her wigs have been terrible. And I'm gonna need her to go find her stylist again. Cause it ain't looking good. So what y'all think? I agree with Cynthia to a degree. Now, is Cynthia a flip flopper? She has been in the past. But I remember her always trying to be Kenya's friend. So even when when Kenya wasn't really being the nicest to her, she was always Cynthia's friend. Kenya's friend. So there's that. Y'all, please like, share, subscribe. I'm tired. I don't know if I'm going to even post this, but I'm going to look at it back and see how I can manage it. And then maybe I just go to bed. I got to get up early tomorrow because I got to take my car in to get fixed. So anyway, y'all, please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, peace.